Right guys, welcome to part 2 of we're going to stick in the C. I'm going to talk about the C major scale, because dominantly the C major scale it's just a fretboard, and when you start understanding, and all it is your second string and it's your first fret, and that's your beginning position of when you build a C. And we spoke about the C in the first exercise, and I hope if you have watched my video you now can hold that C. You know, you've got your melodic note of your E, your C, your melodic note of your E, you've got your G, because that's open on the third that we discussed in the first episode. Then you're also holding on the third fret, on the fifth string, the C. So that's your second C as you're going up the guitar. That's your first. And why that's quite good for your scale is because behind it, on the open string, on the second string, it's a B. And you go straight, so you've got no flat in between or no sharp. So you go straight to your C. So you go B, C. So open would be your seventh note in the C scale. But then you go in a lower octave, and then you hit your C note, which is your first note of your C scale, and then you don't go to your C sharp, or it'd be a D flat maybe. You're going to go to the third, you're going to go to a D, and you start hearing and understanding that C, D, E, C, D, E, F, and then you've just got one drop into the F, because again, you've got no E sharp or you've got no F flat. So you could just practice on that one string, just go C, D, E, F, E, F, E, D, C. And then you want to understand and take note where that G is, because obviously you've got C, D, E, F, G. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the G is your fifth note in the C. And then another thing, so if you're holding your C there, and then you go up on your third fret, that's going to be a G. C, G, C. Same there. We're just on a higher octave. I'm just plucking it. We're going to talk about the right hand later on in these episodes, but we're just trying to understand the C scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And then when you get to your 13th fret, that'd be the beginning again, and then it'd just be never ending if you had an infinity fretboard. But the pattern, so B, C, so you've not got to worry about that flat note for the first three notes. So you go, and it's all in major notes, C, D, E, and then your first drop is your E to your F, and then you don't have to worry about it for a block of 3 again. So you go F, G, A, B, and then when you get to your B, you know you're back to your C. And that pattern, so a drop of 3, step of 2, step of 1, step of 2, step of 2, step of 2, step of 1. Popping quiet. So it's back to the C. You've got your C note, you've got your C note. Your third C note's up there on the 5th fret. So clearly, if you've got your C there, you know that's going to be a G. Oh no, but it's not, is it? Yeah, it is. It's your G. Like on your 8th, you've got your C, G. You've got your C, G. You just got to be careful about this step off the 2 bottom strings, because you're in E, F and B, C, there's no step, but then your third, your fourth, your fifth and your sixth string have a step. So if you're to pinch the first string on the third, so you go G, G sharp, you don't want to be there, you want to be there, because that'll be then your A, G, A, and then that'll be part of your C scale. Same with the fourth string, you're on a D there, you don't want to pinch the first fret, because that'll be a D sharp, or it'll be an E flat, you want to be there, and that'll be your E. And now we've discussed steps, you know there's no flat there, so just go E, F, F, G, G, A, B, and then back to the C. And you can identify all your C's, and you've got six C's up to the 12th fret. So we know where that one is, C. We know where that one is, C. We know where that one is already. But if we go up to the 8th fret now, you got it on your low E, you got it on your high E. So then if you go into an E position that we're not discussing, we're going to forget this one, but if you're in, so clearly that's an E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. So in that E position there, holding a bar, it's got your 3 C's again. So you've got your bottom C, got your low C, got your high C, and then you're going to find your other C there in that bar chord. So on your 4th string, on your 10th fret is your C, and then on your 5th string, that'll be there, because that C there represents your bar on your 3rd C, on your 3rd fret. And then if really interesting, you know, that's your C, your dominant C in that note, in that chord. You know, if you're holding that bar, on the 3rd string, that'll be your C. So now we know that on the 5th is a C. Like if you hold an A, you know that one there is going to be an A on the 3rd string. So if you're whatever bar you're holding in that, going up your chords, you know whatever note you're pinching there. So if I'm on a D there, you know the 3rd string will be a D, and the 5th string will be a D. But I don't want to talk about anything but the C major scale on this one really. And then we talked about the C. So we just play with the C, and then let's go into the G. You can just drop that finger up. C, G, C, G. I'm not going to get too deep, I don't want to confuffle your brain or anything, we just want to keep basic. And as you watch these videos, by the 10th we'll play a song in the C, G. I want to bring A minor into it before the A. I want to bring an A minor because that's dominant with C. And when you get to that G, when you hold a G there on the 5th, and that's your C, if you start on that A note there, which on your 5th fret on the low E will be an A, that's the beginning of your A minor scale, which will... But that's going to be like 2 months into these videos. I hope you like. I'm not going to keep these too long, and I'm going to try and uncut them, just keep honest and show you. And if you ever need to refer, you can always come back to your C scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And remember there's no middle note between the B and the C. And that's all we're going to talk about. So that'll be the topic, A, B, C. B, C, and C, G. I hope you like, guys. This is my second video, so if you get to watch this, like and subscribe, and hopefully in 10 lessons, even if you've not got your guitar in hand, I'm just teaching you what I've learnt over the 30 years of playing the guitar. Take care everyone, all the best, have a lovely Sunday.